good. I'm happy to hear it's your favorite film. Wow, thank you. Great room to be in. So yeah, you're lucky that you got to be there. That was great. I mean, you see like Darren Aronofsky and A24 and Brendan Fraser. I think that's definitely going to pull you to want to do a project for sure. But aside from that, I think just after we did like the first table read, in Sam Hunter, our playwright and screenwriters, his writing like it's just so genius, and these characters are so complex. And I think I was just really excited to kind of like pick at Ellie's brain and understand her a little bit more. And yeah, that was a nice challenge. I mean, from the character standpoint, like, yeah, I guess, because it's so justified if you really look at her past and everything, and you know, her father leaving her when she was 8, and how things have kind of unfolded in her life as a result of that. And I think it's hard because we grow to love Charlie so much, and so when Ellie comes in with all of this rage, it's hard to understand, I guess. But for me, I think my job was just to, and Darren, we worked on just like really justifying every moment that we possibly could. Um, but yeah, that rage is, I think it's pain that's like manifested into that rage, but really at the heart of it, I think there's just a deep amount of pain and hurt. I think like just her inner thoughts, and that kind of, what I really resonated with was just not really on like a personal level, but I guess, I don't know, I just connected to it in some way, was just that constant fight between her real inner self and the armor that she's kind of put up as protection. Um, that was one of my favorite parts to explore about her, and just kind of finding those little moments, finding those key lines, something that Charlie says to her that just makes her break a little bit. So you see a little bit of vulnerability seep through. Like, I think one of my favorite moments is probably when I just picked up on it like the other night at the premiere, but there's a moment where Charlie like makes a joke in reference to her writing. She like wrote that she hates everyone, and then Charlie kind of brings it up again, and like there's like a slight smile, like you kind of see a little bit of joy in her seep through, and just like little moments like that, little like moments where you can sprinkle a little bit of empathy into her. That's, I don't know, that was my favorite part. I I'm definitely not as strong of a writer as Ellie, that's for sure, because she's got a certain bravery and honesty to her. But yeah, I think always was my favorite subject growing up. So there is also a connection there, I guess. I mean, I think I really, I didn't grow up with Brendan's films or anything, so it kind of gave me this like really rare opportunity just to like fully get to know him as Charlie and only see him in this role. And we had a 3-week rehearsal period together. Um, and I think that was just crucial in terms of establishing this trust between the two of us. It's not an easy dynamic to play out, and especially just being mean to him is definitely challenging because he's such a great, lovable guy. But with those 3 weeks of rehearsals, I think we just were able to kind of like get comfortable with each other, get comfortable with the characters, so that by the time we stepped on set, it was just that much more natural, and we could kind of like play around a little bit. But yeah, and getting to know him kind of on a more personal level too, just throughout the press journey, has been like such a gift. Before, but afterwards, I did do like a slight little Brendan Fraser movie binge. I really loved School Ties, and then I did watch George of the Jungle, and I need to watch Bedazzled. That's the next one I have to watch. Also, I haven't seen The Mummy yet, so that's on my list as well. I'm really excited that I get to. It's just so fun watching his old movies, because especially after really only knowing him for like his performance as Charlie, to see his past performances, it's, oh my god, it's so unbelievably impressive and such a shock. I mean, I was a huge fan of Darren's work, so I mean, I kind of, because he called my team and like asked me to do just like this table read, I guess when they were deciding whether or not to make it, or they just wanted to hear it read aloud by actors. And I heard it was just like an untitled Darren Aronofsky project, and that was enough. Like I didn't care what it was. Like I was going to be there because I'm such a huge fan of his work. And I didn't know what to expect because like obviously it's Aronofsky, so I thought it was going to be like something really, really dark and wild. And I went in like to the reading completely cold for the most part. But I was pleasantly surprised because like it's so different than anything he's done before. It's still at the center of it. I think it's, you know, has that like theme of just human connection. But it is a lot more grounded than what a lot of us know him for. So it was an honor to get to kind of like work on this specific project with him because I think it's really special for all of us. Oh, that's. I mean, I love those scenes with Ty so much because Ellie's relationship, how she treats her father, it's very specific. It's a very, you know, targeted like side of her, and she's, you know, that's one part of Ellie. But when she has these scenes with Thomas, that's kind of where you get to like see her out in the wild and maybe see how she would just treat anyone. Um, but yeah, Ty was so amazing to work with. And I think for our scenes, like I think it needed to be really fast paced, and he just like kept up with all of Ellie's, you know, random thoughts and horrible manipulation tactics really well. And made it very easy to kind of make fun of him. So, and the blocking for those as well, like those are really fun to figure out. My favorite blocking is probably like the um the first scene she has with Thomas when like I think she goes into the kitchen and like starts making him a drink or something, and she's saying all these horrible things about like his religion and really making him feel uncomfortable, all while just like, you know, making him a drink, welcoming him into the space. So just really throwing him for a loop and like, you know, like a game of like cat and mouse or something. But those were really fun. I mean, when Sam came in, she came in for like I think 1 or 2 days because it was still peak COVID times and she couldn't get over here for rehearsals or anything. But she came in and it was like the final piece of the puzzle for everyone. And I don't know, seeing like how she played that role and even some of the mannerisms I felt like were maybe not intentional, but like they were just similar to some of Ellie's mannerisms. Um, so you see what she's been living with. Um, and it all kind of starts to like make a little bit more sense, but then it's also just heartbreaking because her mother has completely given up on her. Um, and you kind of understand why it's even more confusing for Ellie to have spent this time with Charlie, who's someone who's just showing her so much unconditional love and forgiveness, and she's never had that. So yeah, that those scenes with Sam, I think everything just kind of she's like the glue. I remember one scene. We didn't really have that many together, but that one where we're all kind of together. There's like one bit, and I I just remember like she has this rant and she's talking to Brendan, and I had never really seen anything like that, and I just couldn't believe that I got to like sit there and watch her give that performance. And I just remember sharing a look with Darren, like, oh my, like she's unbelievable. Um, and yeah, and that was she. I didn't, like I said, we didn't have that many scenes together, so seeing the full thing and getting to see what they filmed when, you know, when I wasn't there, it was unbelievable. Like, I mean, just everyone really. No, I think like I think Max is still I think she's very innocent, and she's still like got a lot of hope, and she's a good friend, she's loyal. Um she's sarcastic, she's a little dry, she's tough, but that's about where, you know, that's where the similarities stop, I think. With Ellie, she's much more twisted. I think she has the potential to be evil if she didn't have this time with her father, if she wasn't able to like, you know, be inspired to like change, and if she wasn't given any hope, then I think it could have gotten really, really bad. And she just would have continued to hurt people rather than care for them. But yeah, I've thought about that though. But other than just like, some dry sarcastic humor, I think that's about it. I've thought about that. I mean, I think really, honestly, I think this film, like, I really think everyone can really enjoy it and learn a lot from it and take something away from it. Um, it is interesting though. It's a far cry from Stranger Things, I'd say. So maybe there'll be a little bit of a shock value, just a little bit. I don't know. Favorite films from this year? Well, I still need to see a lot, so I can tell you what I'm like really looking forward to see. I really want to go see that. But other than that, favorite films this year. Hmm. I have a hard time like remembering on the spot. I'm like, what came out this year? I have no clue. Everything's blurring together. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing Tar and Women Talking as well. Thank you. Thank you so much.